Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 3 crazy rescue dogs, rescue cat, 4 rescue guinea pigs, who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to learn ASL, and is trying to train for Ironman. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could really use that. If you're a returner, you already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. This time I remembered to push the actual record button. And if that is not indicative of how this day and last week turned out, I don't know what is. Y'all. I'm going to try and do this. Okay, so on my channel, while I normally have a really warped sense of humor, and that may come back out, I talk about my life updates first, and then we get into stitching. And I don't know what, that's just how it's worked out. So this last week, we started midterms. My first midterm, I got 100% on. I missed half a point, but she's like, really and truly, I got all 95 points for my grade. But she's like, just so you know, really and truly. And I was like, half a point. I'm not gonna be upset about a half a point. Not. I have a final video of my interpreting of a 15-minute long video that is due tonight that I have to still record. I also have physical therapy, which we'll talk about why in a minute. And then I have an interview at noon. So again, this is going to have to be fairly short because that's in a half hour, 31 minutes, with a magazine, an online magazine that deals with special. I have something on my nose. Sorry, squirrel. That deals with special ed here in Michigan. They're launching their Michigan edition and have reached out to me to ask if I wanted to be included. So we're meeting at noon to sort of figure things out. So that's kind of cool. That's actually really cool. So Thursday I went to pain management and I had the talk with my doctor. And he is like, yeah, I don't know why everything we've been doing suddenly isn't working for you. And I'm like, I don't know, but I feel like I've gotten worse. And that's really frustrating. And he's like, okay. He goes, do we want to start talking about doing more medical interventions and maybe a daily med to sort of, and I said, well, what are my other options? Because he goes, yeah, I figured that's where we were going to go because, you know, he goes, I want to support you on not taking more meds, but to really, let's figure this out. So he agreed that new imaging was needed. The last imaging apparently of my lower back was actually in February of 2021. We did imaging after the accident of my head because of the shunt, but not of my lower back. It's like, I can't explain it. I'm like, I don't know. So we did that. We also agreed to send me to PT and try that for a couple weeks as well to see if maybe we can make some progress that way. I was lucky enough to get in for my MRI on Friday morning and then over to an associate at the office of my neurosurgeon to readjust my shunt within a couple hours of the MRI. And I got into PT that same day on that Thursday evening and met with a really great physical therapist at the office. So here's what we now know. The fascia on my back is so tight that it's like, and fascia is not fat. It's like this protective connective tissue. It was so tight she couldn't even like really work on things at the PT office. She's like, well, that's probably causing you a great deal of pain. And I can't start to really break down and figure out what's going on underneath until we can get past that. And I said, okay, well, what do we know about what's going on underneath? And she's like, everything from your L2 through your SI is sort of locked in. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and that fascia could also be pulling on pulling on my neck and shoulders, and I know that those have been extremely tight, and I sort of attributed to, so I store stress in my neck and shoulders, which is very common, and also in my thighs, in those muscles in my thighs. Why, I have no idea. You explain the body to me. I don't understand it all the time. Even with all of my education about the body, that makes no sense to me, but that is essentially what does. But my thighs aren't bothering me. So, you know. But everything in my back is just kind of like, okay. So we found out that there's spaces in between your vertebrae, and mine have become very compressed after the accident that's gotten even smaller. So that is likely pinching on nerves. And then we also know that L2, 3, and 4 are bulging. So when it smooshes it, that nerve, it's sort of like a balloon out the side. This is the best way I can explain it. If you are a medical person and can explain it better, I would love that. Okay, so that's causing pain. And then with your SI joints, which is kind of like your hips, mine are locked in place, but they should be more flexible. Mine aren't. Again, causing a lot of pain. Add to that the pain of the fascia being all tight like a drum. She's like, actually, I've seen drums that have more flexibility than you do right now in your fascia. It's like, great. So what we've also found out is that at least 3 of my vertebrae in the L region have hairline fractures. Those have to be confirmed. That's what they're noticing, or looks like it's being indicated on the MRI. So we have to go and x-rays have to determine that. You can't, but my doctor already called me and he's like, just so you know, this is what we're looking at. And he goes, we'll do an x-ray just to be sure on Thursday when you come into the office. However, we're going to operate that they are fractured. Given your accident and how severe the accident was, that is not surprising. And I said, great, how do we treat that? And he goes, well, we're going to discuss this a whole lot more on Thursday, because I see him again this Thursday. And I said, okay. And he goes, a lot of that, because they're not breaks, is more rest to allow them time to heal. We may brace. And I said, okay. And he's like, but you can't be lifting stuff. You can't be twisting and bending extra. He's absolutely no training. He had already told me that on Thursday. He pulled the Ironman for this year. He's like, am I saying forever? No. He goes, but absolutely not this year. And I said, what about the ultramarathon I've already registered for? Because, 5 years now. And he goes, I'm not pulling that at this point. He goes, additionally, because that is a race where I can go any distance I want. And that is not until October. He is hopeful that we will be able to tackle the course at least 1 or 2 loops. So that's fine. I will accept that. And I said, are you pulling Ironman for me forever? And he said, I'm going to do everything in my power not to. He's like, but I'm asking you to not do it this year. And to not put that on your shoulders. And I said, deal. Deal. And so, ironically, that day I got an email from from Steph at Just Keep Stitching. But it actually came from Keepsakes. And I got a seat in Weekend B for StitchCon. And I register. So I will be going to StitchCon Weekend B. That said, I will likely not take part in the Smalls Exchange or any of that. Like, I'm not adding anything else because I am able to go down for Thursday. Because even with my summer classes, it looks like my classes again are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And my Monday, Wednesday class is going to be on Zoom. So I will be able to be at StitchCon all the way from Thursday evening or late afternoon all the way through Sunday. I am going to stop at Jungle Gyms. They're in Cincinnati. And by 2 bottles of chicken shawarma seasoning, because the chicken shawarma seasoning that I bought here local at the Walmart, it's not as good. It's not as good. So I am looking forward to that. And even if that's all I buy at Jungle Jim's, I will be good. And I say 2 because I just ran out. Like, each bottle has been lasting me about 6 months. The last bottle. So I figure if I buy 2, then I'm good until StitchCon next year. Maybe I'll buy a third just in case. I mean, it's not going to go to waste. And I'm trying to be positive. I will do little table gifts for my table mates. And in my brain, I've started to work on those. But I'm not going to stress about like the smalls exchange and all of that. I will try to have at least one stitch that I'll be able to ring the bell. And that's okay. And I probably will take something for the brag table. What I'm going to take, I don't know. That's still months away. Okay, so I then said to my pain management doctor, can I still see the physical therapist? And he's like, yes, because they will understand how to work with this injury and still, do what we need, hopefully do what we need to do. Can I still see my massage therapist? And he said, yes, as long as I tell them what's going on, which I did. I saw my massage therapist Sunday morning for an hour. That was a well-spent chunk of money. And what I need to do is make that a point that even if I only go once a month for an hour, that I do that. That for me, that is a way of loving myself and honoring my body and the space that I am in. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. Would I like to be able to go more? Yes. But I think committing to 1 hour a month is a reasonable thing to budget for and will help. Maybe I'll start one of those buy me a coffee and I'll use the money towards the massage, a monthly massage. What do y'all think? I hate doing that. Like, I hate asking friends for money like that. Okay, so what else has gone to hell in a handbasket? Well, I have several cases that have suddenly have emergency things that need to get taken care of today. So that's just a bloody fucking nightmare. Oh, that's the other thing. Every once in a while on my channel, and I do apologize, I will probably drop an F-bomb because really and truly. I had therapy this morning, and I actually broke down, and my therapist actually looked at me and said, I have never seen you like this. And he's like, I really think that you are dealing with burnout, and we need to break this cycle. And I said, yeah, you think? So, he has challenged me to taking a day off, taking a day completely to just myself, and going and doing something fun and not worrying about cases and not worrying about schoolwork or kid things, and just being in the moment with whatever I decide to do, whether that means the kids and I go grab Taco Bell, although Bean doesn't like Taco Bell, but if we go grab KFC and then go to the movies or whatever, I need to do that. I did not, just so you guys know, I did not get to the refrigerator. What I did do is I got in the Tupperware containers that I wanted to do for the shelves up here. They're not the right containers. I've ordered the new ones that are hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be the right containers. I also figured out that my dog has been hoarding shoes. At least 2 of the dogs have been hoarding shoes and toys against the wall here underneath the table. So I have cleaned out that, and that's what I did as far as cleaning and organizing my house. And I'm okay with that. Will I hopefully work on this area up here? Yes. This week, hopefully. and get the Tupperware containers. I think are supposed to be here today or tomorrow. And so getting those switched out. Those are on the upside. I've already returned the wrong Tupperware and dropped off two other returns to Amazon that needed to happen. So we are still making progress, just not what I thought I was going to tackle. And that's okay because progress is still progress. This last weekend was also supposed to... Okay, so anyways, let me get back to going in order because otherwise I'm going to... Yeah. So had a huge fight with a certain person. And just... The bottom line is we both need to either treat each other better or we both need to walk away from each other. So yeah, so that was... But got blindsided with some information there. The other thing is I need to start treating myself like I treat my friends and my clients. In the regards of, I usually talk, and I expect my friends to talk to themselves better than, and treat themselves better than how I've been treating myself. And I expect more from my clients as well. And so hopefully that will help provide me with the shift I need in some things. I also need to get my table back to being... Okay, as much as I've liked this challenge of touching all of my full coverage whips this month for Whip Warriors, it is... I don't want to say it's not been fun, but in some ways it's really kind of killing my stitchy vibe. And I'm not quite sure why, but it's not. And it's showing off because I want to at least get through all 7. And I'm literally down to the last 2 of the 7. And then I'm supposed to start back up at the top. But it's showing off my groove for getting my whip go. And that's creating a whole other level of stress. And then it's like, okay, I might not want to work for 1,000 stitches. 1,000 stitches of confetti stitching is a lot of work. And so sometimes it's not enjoyable to keep going. Like I would break that up. So I don't know what I'm going... I don't know. The last 2 I have to work on are Rosie and Pandemic, which both of those I love to work on. But again, I'm like, I want to catch up the blue so that it's even with where I am on the page counts, but I don't want to have to count 1,000 stitches on that. And so, yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that challenge. I think I may just make it through the 1 round and be like, yeah, I'm out. Like, that's still 7,000 stitches that I've stitched. Plus the other stitching that I do. Obviously I've got to get through projects. I've got to get court cases handled, and things like that. So, this last weekend, so yeah, so that's where we are. So, the other 2 major things are, there was an ultrasound for Bruno, and there's some concerns, and so they go in tomorrow for another ultrasound, at which point if things are still off, they will go straight into doing an amnio and trying to figure some things out. So it is not life-threatening to either one, and that is the good news. So I am asking for all of the good vibes for them, that Bruno is 100% okay, and that we don't have to do an amnio, and that we don't have to do any of this other stuff, and we can just go on and have a healthy, happy baby, because ultimately that's healthy, happy baby, healthy, happy mama. So, yeah, I went to IKEA. Okay, so then, okay, so Saturday, I went out with a friend of mine. because she needed a break. And I need to get some information from her as well, because she knows one of my clients, and the client gave the information to her to then give to me. My friend's is technically her stepson, but she's raised him since he was a baby because his bio mom passed away. And he hung himself. And that's... I have no words. And the only thing I can say is, please check on your loved ones. Because this young man had been literally laughing with my friend and his dad hours before. Nobody had a clue. And they're like sitting here, and everybody's going, we honestly can say we didn't think, like, we had no red flags. And that's really weird, but these are two parents who are very involved with their children. I mean, who are all adults. So to say, like, so yeah. So I'm feeling it. I have a lot of feelings right now and a lot of things, and so yeah. So Lizzie, please stop. Hold, please. Okay. So yeah, so it's been a rough week. So we are going to pray that today is the last of the roughness, and that we're going to start going into the part of March where it's a lamb. Because so far it has been an angry lion. We're getting more snow. Yay us. I'm so sick of the snow. But so let's talk about what stitching I did get done. Last week my 52 card whip pickup was Patio Crabby by Barefoot Needle Art. I pushed and got a finish. Patio Crabby is done. And if he is not the cutest St. Patrick's Day thing ever, I don't know what is. Like, seriously. So good. So cute. I have no idea how I'm going to finish him. But he makes me laugh and brings a little joy to my life right now. I did do there was a week's dye works, I think, that was called for. I did not have it. It was for the red. So my red is actually, even though it looks a little variegated, it should not. It is just a DMC. I did mine all in DMC. This is a DMC variegation, though. His hat, so that should be variegated. And he looked kind of like a blob until we did the back stitching. And as much as everybody hates back stitching, and I'm right there with you, it adds so much to some pieces. Because before this, it did not look, it was rough. You can look at my Instagram to see that. So he is done. So he goes into the box of stitches that are finished but not FFO'd, which when I reference, as everything goes, this is my box. That's the box that I reference that it all goes into. And I just dropped my one assignment, and that's okay. Whatever. There it goes. Yeah, welcome to my world. Hey, I got it underneath the table done, and the canisters will get switched out soon. So, this last weekend was supposed to be my FFO weekend for WIPCO that I was organizing. You know how many things I FFO'd? I'll show you here right now. None. So I will set aside time this week, likely this next weekend, and I will do my FFOing. I have pulled a couple small pieces that I know are just going to be small ornaments that I was going to do. I also At one point, I have finished spring rolls and yellow polka dot bikini. These are the Dash Hound series by the Wiener Dog series by Plum Street Samplers. These are the only two I have done out of this series. Don't judge me. At least I have two done. I think I'm just, at one point I thought I'll make them so that I can just switch them on and off with put like the magnets to a flat finish on a board that I can hang the board and just switch out, but they're not the same size. Like, and here's the thing, I did this one on 14 Ada, so you'd think this one would be and I don't know what happened, but now I've got like splotch, they look like boob shadows on my fabric, but whatever. I don't know. It won't be in the finish. That's all that matters. See, maybe the edge of the boob, but whatever. And over here it won't be. So you'd think this would be the bigger of the two because this one is on 18 count, but it's not. This one is much bigger, longer. So now I don't know. Do I make them into pillows? But then I'm worried my dogs are going to go hold the pillows and eat the pillows. So I don't know. But I know I have several ornaments in there that I can finish and be done with. So that is my goal. So we got that finished. Yay. Okay. So then I did work on I did actually do some stitching. Thursday night, I was probably very quiet in the group, and to the ladies, I do apologize. I needed to be there, but not be there, if that makes sense. So I stitched on, his name is Jesus, and I believe it's by Joyful Designs. And we are now, this is all the way down. So we are at 70%, right around 70% done. This is my Thursday night stitch. I stitch it when we Zoom call with Tammy, who is going to get this. And then there's two companion pieces to this. And I know that if I upload this and then to my Pinterest, I created a board for them. If I upload this and then I send that URL to them, I can then pick any pattern that I want. I believe it's a limit of one free pattern, but that's still one free pattern. So that's one out of the two that I don't have to worry about. I'm hoping Kim will then, I know that Kim has stitched it as well. She is not going to stitch any of the others, but maybe I can talk Kim into uploading her finish to her Pinterest board and submitting the URL and getting the other pattern for free. We'll see. Okay, so then the other one, Sal, that I worked on was the Sing a Song sampler by Silver Creek Samplers. I am stitching this one with Tina Frazier, and we work on this on Sundays. This Sunday, I ended up needing to take a few minutes to sort of unwind my system last night, and that is when I worked on it. If you recall last week, I found the error. I did go back and correct it and then moved forward on it. So I have all of the wording down, and then I have started to put in the sun. And then there's like some clouds down here. This is not the called for DMC, as I repeat every week. Absolutely, like it is not the called for colors at all. At all. This is the cover. I am doing mine loosely based on a conversion by Jan Hicks. So this is what these two sections should look like. Here's mine. Mine is very bright. I absolutely love this. I love the different colors, to be honest. Did I love the original charted? Not 100%. And it honestly wasn't until I saw the brighter colors that I was like, oh yeah, we want to do that. So yeah. So then the next thing that I did was I actually started a new start. I needed to. I don't know why. I just needed to. So I pulled an easy one that was already kitted up, and that is a Thankful String by Lizzie Kate. Again, I have all of these but the kitty one. Because when I bought all of these, I didn't have a cat. So I am stitching this on a piece of linen. I have no idea where this linen is from. It's quite a big piece of linen. It may have been linen from Janet in the well, it was actually a huge stack of linen that she sent to me. But I'm not sure. I don't know. But I started this Sunday morning because Sunday morning I was essentially at a breaking point. I'm still kind of there. So I turned on my church that I attend to sporadically. They televise their services, which on Zoom, which I'm so grateful that churches do that, because I was not in a spot where my church is really big, and I just couldn't handle being with all of those people and all of that going around. So I did that. Then I went and had my massage, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I got A, B. This is C for corn. It's actually an ear of corn, but that is supposed to be the C. I am just doing it in the called for DMC. I will tell you, I love, and they're not showing up very well, but it's this yellowy, like a yellowy gold kind of color, and then this really beautiful blue-gray. I love the colors. I absolutely love the colors. My goal is to stitch all of my strings on the same piece of linen. I mean, it's a yard. It's a yard piece. So I should be able to get them all on here. I mean, I don't think that the alphabet is farther than that. And that's quite substantial. That's probably 3/4 of a yard wide. So I think I should be able to get all of them, or at least a vast majority of them, done on the same piece. And that way they will all be the same size, and I will be able to just swap them out. I don't know where this will end up in the rotation. The bag is really big, but the project is kind of small. But I keep it in here because it's Thanksgiving. I don't know a whole lot right now. Okay, let's see. So, okay, so the only other pieces that I worked on, let me show you the other one first. I finished my 1,000 stitches. I don't think I had finished all 1,000 when I showed you guys this the last time. This is the piece for my friend's mom. I got 1,000 stitches into it. So this is her shoulder, like this, her arm, actually the side of her arm, and that is her, part of her hair is in. And I've added more to the wall of orange. So that will go, it is on my whip go board. It will go away though, unless I decide to do another round of the 7 stitches, which I don't know, the 7 full coverages this month. It's not due to come out this month any other time because it wasn't one of my whip go pulls. Okay. So the only other thing that I worked on, and I didn't work on it a whole lot, which again adds sort of this self-imposed level of stress because I want this done to be able to gift this for Christmas. But I worked, and this is where I'm at in my the lineup of my 1,000 stitches. Is working on this. This is also for Jessica's group. They're doing a stitch into spring, where we pick a full coverage piece. It does not have to be related to spring, and we focus on that. So this is the piece I've been using for that. It's also a pull for WIPCO this month. It's all the things. And I do love working on it. So I've been trying to, but I have not added a whole lot. I'm still trying to work on this general area in here and getting it done. And that's where we're at with Rosie. And I love this piece. And I love everything it means to me. So yeah. So that was all I did. That was all I did. And that's where we're at. So I still have days to Jeep Van Gogh. Still add more days for WIPGO. I still owe more days to Rosie for WIPGO. Once I put in 1,000 stitches for Rosie, then my last full coverage on my list is Pandemic. And I may just eyeball the 1,000 stitches if I stitch them in blue. I don't know what else. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I will be honest, I am half tempted to grab another card of a project that I already worked on, that number, and throw it in for this week for my whips, for my 52 card whip pickup. I'm really tempted to do that, y'all. Okay, let's draw a card. If I need to change, if I need to end, whatever, even 5 stitches in a project is better than no stitches into a project. So, you know, we can do that. We can do that. So we're going to pull another card. It's a good card. Okay. Okay. So this week's card will be last week's was Patio Krabby. We got a finish. That is our second finish actually of this month, which isn't bad because we're only on like what week? Well, I mean, it's the 13th. So we're 2 weeks into March and I've got 2 finishes finally. Both were started in 2021, I think. Pretty sure 2021. So 4 of Hearts, for me, that is Summertime, which I love working on anyways. So that's why I was like, when I saw that, I was like, I'm good with that. We will try to set aside some time to FFO some stuff, so hopefully next week you'll see that. And even if it's just a couple like little magnetic tiles or ornaments, clearly my box is overwhelmed. I also found out from my mom this last week that she found the embroidery. It's an embroidery crewel work that I started when I was very little with her. She finally found it again. And so I will be, the next time I see her, I will be getting that from her and looking to finish that as well. That would make that my oldest whip, not the ant placemats, but I need to get the ant placemats done too. I have a lot of stuff to get done, so, but whatever. It is what it is. So with that, though, I need to let you guys go. I need to head out to this interview. I need to do all of the things today, and hopefully, God willing, not break down into tears again. So yeah. So with that, if there is anything I can help with, please reach out to me. Please. Yeah. And if nothing else, I am going to open up one of my thread racks. I'm out of wax melts, so I am being sent more wax melts from my friend. And in the meantime, I may just have to open one of my thread wax things and sniff my thread wax to make me happier. So, oh, thank God. I like smush pennies for where I go. My daughter and I have started collecting those. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll talk to you later. I love you guys all, and thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. And if you've made it this far, y'all deserve a gold star for the day. And yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I will be back with something next week, but I don't know what. So, okay, I'll talk to you guys later.